Hey everyone, this is Katrina from Theme Creations, Reefs and Things, and not sure what's happening, but I scheduled to go live on my business page, and it said I was live, and nothing was there. So I messed around with it for a little bit, not sure if it actually started or not, but I messed around with it a little bit. So I came off my business page, and now I'm on my regular Facebook page. So if you know anybody that's watching, tell them to switch on over to my Facebook page because my business page for some reason is not letting me air my video. It says that I'm live and I didn't see anything and nothing was coming up on my screen, but I'm here. So today what I figured we'll do is a patriotic flower wreath, and I've started it already, somewhat already, because I didn't want to be on too long. It's already late and I'm trying to skim my videos down to about an hour or less than an hour. So this is kind of the base of what we're starting with, but I'll go through the supplies. You're going to need two of this red checkered mesh. And I got this mesh from Michael's. Now, I'll be honest with you. This mesh is not the best. And if you don't have a wood burner to cut it with, I tried it with my rotary cutter and it's fraying like the dickens. It is fraying so bad. So then I went to my wood burner, which is this tool right here with the little slanted tip on it, and I started cutting it with that, and it cut so much better. So if you have a wood burner for this, please use a wood burner. It The fray was less. It still frayed a little bit, but it was a lot less. Then I have some blue deco mesh. I'm sorry, blue burlap. So you're gonna definitely want to use your wood burner to cut the burlap. You can use your rotary cutter, but the wood burner does such a better job. So just know you can use your rotary cutter, but on both of them, it's going to fray a lot more if you don't have a wood burner. So just know if you don't have a wood burner, you still can do it. You just got to be aware that it's going to fray a lot. So we only needed one roll of the burlap. Okay, so you only need one roll of that because all we're doing is just the section over here in the blue. The rest is the red and white, and that's why we had to have two rolls of that. Also another reason. Oh, and this is the package the mesh came in. It's the Celebrate brand. Um, and this brand is actually at Michael's, and it's not a really good brand. It comes in 19-foot roll, which is only a little over 6 feet long. I mean, 6 feet yard, so it doesn't really cover that much at all. So you don't really get a lot, but you're still paying the same price, $9.99 for the roll. Same price as you would pay if you ordered on Craft Outlet, Trinity Tree, or something like that. But you get at least 10 yards, so you get a lot more. So just be aware that when you see these different type of mesh in the stores, know that they may not be that good, and then you may have to have something like a wood burner to cut it to make it fray a little less. Like I said, all mesh frays, but cutting it with the wood burner, I learned, made it fray a little less. All right, so we have the red and white check. We have the blue burlap. Also, I brought some of this rope, and I brought it at Hobby Lobby, and I got one group of rope was red, one group was, blue, one group was red, and one group was white. Three different rolls of rope. And this was at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure what the price was, but if you go into the crafting section over there where maybe like the t-shirts and paint and beads and stuff like that is, you'll find different color ropes. So I had brought the red, white, and blue rope, and what I did was I had a styrofoam, a round circle styrofoam that you can get at the Dollar Tree, right? Or a Hobby Lobby or Joann's, Michael's, wherever you want to get your round foams. Now I had two of them. So I have the big round foam, which is the whole circle, and I cut them in half. So then they look like this, right? So once you cut them in half, you get these half shapes right here. So what I did was I took the rope. the rope here, and I braided it. So I took one end and I like attached it to a drawer or something, and then I just started braiding it down. And I kept going until I felt like I had enough to make each one of these centers. And then I cut it off, and then I glued the ends. Right? You take your hot glue, you glue the ends, and you get like a braid. Because that's what this is. This is a braid. I braided it together. I don't know if you can really see that well, but it's an actual braid. So I braided them together. Then what I did was in the center of this, right at the center, I marked the center. And what I did was I took like a little pin and I made like a little indentation in the center. By doing that, I had a place to stick the start of my rope, right, to make the center. So what I did was I had to put a little hole in the styrofoam at the top, right in the center. I took the braid, the beginning of the braid, I put a little glue in that hole, and I stuck the braid in that hole with the glue, and I let it sit there like for 30 seconds. Then I started putting the glue around and then holding the braid down as I glued. And I would do small sections at a time. So I came out that little hole and I would push it real tight so it stayed tight, and I glue it, and then I go another, glue it a little bit more, and I roll the braid around, and I continuously did that all the way around until I got all the way around the styrofoam. Okay, get all the way around. Then when you get to the bottom, you take the braid, you glue it down here. You also take some, you can, any type of clips you want. I tend to like these clips here. These are like floral clips, the pins that they use. So I'll take this and I'll stick it, stick it on this, and then I glue it. Like you said, it's a whole bunch of glue. You can't even really see these pics because I have a whole bunch of glue on it. And then I let it dry. So you're going to need some of these. You're also going to need a 22-inch gauge wire, but you can use any wire you like. I like the 22-inch gauge wire because it has a good hold. You're going to need some zip ties. I have some red zip ties and some white zip ties because I just don't have blue. If I had blue, I'd be using blue. But I have red and white zip ties. And the white ones are 8-inch and the red ones are 6-inch. You can use a 6-inch. You can even go down to 4-inch if you want to, but this is just what I had. That's all. That's the only rhyme and reason for me using it is I'm using what I have because I wasn't going to go out and buy anything else. So those are contact. Oh, you need a 12-inch reform. So this is a 12-inch reform, and you can get these at Walmart. I get a lot of mine at Walmart, but they also have them at Joann's. They have them at Michael's. You just look around, you can find them. So this is the 12-inch frame. Then this is a canvas, and you can get this. I brought mine at Joann's in the where they have the yarn at. So in that section of the sewing section, they have the canvas. This is a number 5 canvas. I prefer to use the number 7 canvas. Reason why? Because the holes, the little holes in between that you see here on the number 7 are larger. So they're easier for your zip ties to get through. Your zip ties can still get through this number 5. It's just the 7 is a little bigger. So what I did was I placed the 12-inch frame on top of the canvas, and then I cut out the circle. I went in between here with my marker. I went all the way around. Then I took it and I cut out the circle to fit in there. Once I did that, I attached it with zip ties. See the white zip ties? So in between the brackets, I attached a white zip tie to attach the canvas to the frame. And I did a zip tie here. I did a zip tie here. I did a zip tie here, here, and so on. Okay, so that's how you attach the canvas. Now you ask Katrina, hey, why do you have those 2 black circles in the middle of the canvas? Glad you asked. I have 2 centers. And when I do my flowers, a lot of times I don't know which center I'm going to use. I'm not sure. So what I did was I took the small center and I put it in the middle of my canvas. And you see that? That shows me the size of my small center, and it also shows me how far my petals need to come in for them to be covered by this small center. Okay, so but I know I had another one, the larger one, so I did the same thing with the larger one. I put that there, and you see it fits that circle. This shows me how far I gotta come in with the petals if I want the big one, the big center to cover it. And I wanted to have an option. So that's why I did that. So if you know you're gonna make a flower and you know you got two sizes of centers, do this. When you put your canvas in the middle, size up the centers. So when you go and place your petals here, you know, say if you want it to, you want the big one to cover, you know, if you bring it down to here, that big one, see, because once I put this big one up there, it actually covers that petal, covers it completely. So if I want to use the big one, this is all I need to come in. Now, if I want to use the small one, I may want to come down, put one more row of petals in. So we'll see if we're going to do that or not. Not sure. May not have enough material, or I may just go with the big one. Not sure, but we'll work that out together. Okay. I've already cut some of my mesh, like I said, trying to cut back on some spending too much time. I've already cut my mesh, and this is this mesh, the 10-inch mesh, and it's cut at 10 inches. So 10 by 10. Okay. So that's how this works. That's 10 by 10 and the red and white. And also in the blue burlap is cut at 10 inches as well. So all of the petals on this flower, patriotic flower, is cut 10 by 10. Okay. So, and I'm going to show you how we cut that. You got to have a tempered glass when you're going to use your wood burner. When you're going to use your wood burner, make sure you have a tempered glass to cut on. You cannot put this wood burner on your mat, okay, because it'll destroy your mat. So you make sure you have some sort of tempered glass underneath your burlap when you're using your wood burner. So we're going to roll out the burlap. And you should have on a mask when you're doing this because it's going to let off some smoke. It's going to let off some smoke. So you need to have a mask when you do this. That way, you know, you won't breathe in that smoke. I'm not going to do that. I've cut some earlier. I cut some tonight. You know, I'll be okay. But I do recommend if you're going to cut, when you do this wreath, if you do use a wood burner, to at least cover your nose, your mask with a bandana or mask, you know, just not so you won't breathe in the fumes. It is not good for you to breathe it in. But I don't plan on making too many cuts. I've already cut some, and when I cut it earlier, I had a fan going, so I had the air circulating, so it wasn't that bad. But being that I'm video, I can't have a fan on right now, so we're just gonna go ahead and cut it. So we lay it out. We see our 10 inches is right here. We got the 10-inch line right here, and then we got a 20-inch line right here. So we're gonna cut it in 10 inches. This is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Be very careful with this because it is made to burn wood. This is the temperature that I have it at, depending on your wood burner. This is where I have mine at. So it's right into that dark orange, not the orange, but the dark orange. So it's right into that. And I have it that up that high because I like it to cut straight through. Sometimes when you have it real low, it tends to not want to cut straight through, and I want it to cut straight through. Also, let me show you this. Let me put this down for safety. When you're cutting your burlap, you want to go in between the lines. See these two lines here? You want to go in between the lines. Okay? So that's what I'm aiming for. In between the lines at the 10-inch mark. Okay? So we line it up. And we're going to make, I don't know how many blue we're going to make, but we're going to cut maybe 8 of these. And we'll see. If we need more, we'll cut more. So we go to the 10-inch line, and we're going to go in between the line. You go in between the line. You see how good that was? You see the smoke coming off? It's a little bit of smoke coming off. A little bit of smoke coming off. And that's what it does. You put it back at the 10-inch mark, which is here. You go to the 20. You find that in-between line. And take your time, ladies and gentlemen. There's no need, no rush. Don't rush. And a suggestion, if you got dogs and cats, kids, when you're using your wood burner, see if they can be in another room. You don't want them breathing this stuff in, for one. And for two, you don't want them. Kids love to jump all over you. Dogs, pets, cats like to jump on the table. Dogs like to jump on you. And you don't want to accidentally burn them or burn yourself because they jumped on you, scared you, or tried to jump and you had to hold them and you had this type of tool in your hand. So just the words of the wise, if you have pets and kids and you're using your wood burner, try to do it when they're not around, or try to make sure they're not in the room when you do use it, because you don't want no accidents happening. You don't want anybody to get hurt. You're going to go to the 10-inch line again. You're going to go in between the lines. In between the lines. We'll go to the 10-inch line here, and we're going to go to the 20. And we go in between the lines. And this burlap came from Michael's. It's not the best burlap, but it's okay. This one right here, but that red and white, I'd have preferred to use a craft outlet or Trinity Tree or Reefs of Joy. Um, it's just that material just frays so bad. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I was cutting fray for forever when I put that little bit together earlier. So when you join, make sure you let me know who you are and where you're watching from. If you do crafts, what kind of crafts you do. If you've done flower wreaths before, let me know if you've done flower wreaths before. Send me a photo. I want to see them. I want to see your work. I don't really do flower wreaths that much. I'm starting to get more into them as I go along. I'm normally doing the deco poly mesh wreath, or either I'm doing a grapevine wreath. That's normally what I do. But I have done a couple of flowers, but it's just not something I do all the time. That may change. That may change. It's just a lot of cutting when you do this. You got to pay attention. It's like I really can't engage and talk with you guys right now because I got to see what I'm doing with this hot tool in my hand. I want to make sure I don't make no mistakes. It's one thing to get burnt by glue, but if you get burnt by this, yeah, it's gonna be some real problems. If you're watching me on Facebook, please like, share, follow. Definitely comment. Like I said, when you come in, let me know where you're checking in from. If you do crafts, what kind of crafts you do. If you make flower wreaths, let me know. Send me a photo. I would love to see your work. Would love to see it. All right, we're just going to cut those few for now. If we need to cut more, we'll cut more. And when you use the wood burner, like you see the edges, I'll show you the edges. It's less fraying. Not saying it won't fray. I'm just saying it's less fraying. Okay, we just put those on top just so they can stay in one place. Now, let's talk about placement. Okay. Once again, this is a 12-inch form, reform. And when we start, we're going to work on bar 2. This is bar 2. This is bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, and bar 4. We're going to start on bar 2. You see what the blue one is? See, that's exactly where we started. We did the red, and we did 3 red in each section. This is a section. Wherever you see the crossbar at, I'm going to move this over. That's a crossbar, and this is a crossbar. So, wherever you see the crossbar is a section. So in between the section, we put one red and white here, one red and white here, and one red and white here. And that's what we did all around the wreath here. As you can see, when I roll the wreath, you can see this is the first. It's on this bar 2. It's attached to bar 2. And you'll see 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. In between the sections. So that's what we did. So once you go all the way around and do that, you go down to bar, you go down to bar 3. But I'll get to that. Let's do finish up bar 2 with the blue. We've done bar 2, the first level with the red and white. So let's finish it with the blue. So let's put this down. Let's get some blue burlap. All right, so this is what we're going to do. This way, yeah. So when I make, let's see, go here so you guys can see it. This is how you make this petal. You put it with the, where it curls upward. This is how you want your burlap to be on your table. You put it with it curls upward. Then you're going to shape it like it's a diamond. You want to tilt it to like it's a diamond, right? So it's a diamond shape right now. You then bring this top and this bottom together in the center. So you're making a little envelope, look like a little envelope in the middle. So you took the top, folded down halfway, you took the bottom, folded it up halfway, and you got a meeting in the center. Then you just walk your hands up. Just walk your hands up the middle. And you're going to have something like this. That's what you're going to have, something like this. You're going to have something like, what you do is you take this hand now, these two pinchers, you pinch the center. Well, you turn it around and you pinch the center. So you pick it up, take these two pinchers, you pinch the center. Then you take these 3 fingers, when you lay it down, and you take these 3 fingers and scoop that left petal over onto the right petal. So you see these 3 fingers? I'm going to go right here and I'm going to scoop that left petal on top of that right petal. And then this is what you get. Okay? Now you want to see if you can get those petals about the same height. So you just pull that left petal up a little bit if you need to, pull up the right petal, however you need to do to see if you can get it where it's just about even. It don't have to be perfect. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is crafting. It's not rocket science. It do not have to be perfect. So right now we have this. This is what you want to see. This right here. And I know I have on a blue shirt, wore the wrong color shirt, so it don't have to be perfect. Gotta be close. So what you do at this point is you take one of your zip ties and you put it under that number 2 bar. That number 2 bar we're working with, you put it under that number 2 bar. Make sure you put your zip tie in right where it's flushed. It's flush. You want it with a flat side it's facing outward. So you put that underneath here. You get the bottom of that. So now you have it underneath that number 2 bar. That number 2 bar. You got the zip tie underneath that. You put the bottom of your petal right there. And then you close up the zip tie. You bring the other part in and you close up the zip tie. What I like to do before I tighten it up, I want to show you guys. I try to make sure all of them are at the same height. So if I have them all meeting at the number 3 bar, I'm not going to have this one going past the number 3 bar. I'm going to have them all meeting up to this number 3 bar because I want them all to be consistent. Okay? So, it's at the number 3 bar, and then you tighten it down. Now, we're going to put another one here. Now, I just want to show you, when I went to put in the blue, I only put 2 red in this section, and then I added a blue. So you got 2 red, 1 blue. When you want to start your blue section, you have to decide how much blue you want on your flower wreath. I wanted it to come over a little more here, I wanted it to be a little more than the actual size of this section. So I actually just came over 1 on this section just to give it a little bit more blue. I didn't want it as the size of the section. I wanted it to be a little more. So I only have 2 red in this section with a blue. So now we in this section. So that's a section. This starts a new section. This bar right here, that bar right there starts a new section. So we got 1, we got 2, we got to put another one. Remember, we got 3 per section. Okay. Once again, the curl side is up. We bring the top to the middle. We bring the bottom to the middle, and then we walk our fingers up. Then we turn it over with our little pinches. We take it with our pinches. We got our pinches. We take these 3 fingers. When we place it down on the board, we take these 3 fingers and we scoop that left pedal over onto that right pedal. And then we try to even them up. We do the same thing we just did with the zip tie. We do it again. We stick it under that number 2 rail. And then we tie it down. We make sure, once again, this is not going lower than this number 3 rail. See? It's not, all of them are not lower than that number 3 rail. Okay, we want them all to be the same. What you do at this point, you have them all up there, and we want, when we working, we want this flower to be on top of the next flower. So when we move over to this flower, we make sure this flower is on top of that flower. So then we go on to the next flower, we make sure this flower to the left is on top of the flower on the right. We just want it all to be consistent. So we want the flowers on the left to be on top of the flower on the right. Now I'm deciding, what do you guys think? Do you think I need to put more blue? Think I need to go over and add one more blue? I don't think so. I think that's enough. I think that's enough blue. I don't think we need to add another blue. This mesh right here I cut with the rotary color is fraying like crazy. So we'll have to deal with that. I have to spray it at the end and get that together. But I think that is enough blue. I'm deciding whether I want to add another one or not. You know what? Let's just go on to the next. If I want to add another blue, I can always add that to the end. I can add another one up here if I want to, but I think it would be too much on that side. So no, I think that's it. This blue will last. So what we're gonna do, since we went down to the next rail, matter of fact, we went down to rail 4. Okay, for the next rail, we went down to rail 4. So we started on rail 2. This is 3. We're gonna go down to rail 4. This is where we had heading at now, rail 4. We're going to skip rail 3. And what I did was I already loaded my zip ties. So if you see here, I went through the canvas mesh. I don't know if you can see that, but I went through the canvas mesh and came up underneath that rail 4. So this is, I went through on this end with the canvas mesh, went through the canvas mesh and brought the zip tie underneath this rail here, and this is the top of the zip tie right here. Okay, we're going to put the petal right in here and we're going to attach it down. Okay, so let's do that. Like I said, I had already cut some of these so we can move a little quicker. Once again, we have the roll side up. Roll side is up. We bring the top to the middle, we bring the bottom to the middle, and we work the mesh up. We make our 2 sections, right? We turn it over with our 2 pinches. We grab it, place it down, take these 3 fingers, and we swoop that left pedal on top of the right pedal. We swoop that left pedal on top of that right pedal. And if it needs to be adjusted, just adjust it. It's okay. This mesh seems a little off anyway. I don't know. I won't be buying this mesh again from Michaels. No. Won't be doing that again. Okay. So now we go to that zip tie that we already have loaded in here, right? Underneath that 4th rail and through that canvas. And just to help you on placement, you want to put it in between these 2 right here. So you got this one, and you want to put that flower right in between. You want to put the petal. So you place the petal down there, and then you close up the zip tie. And then you just cut off the excess. And there you go. Then you take the petal that's to the left of it and you bring that petal on top of the petal on the right. That's the petal that you just put down. Okay? You bring that left petal on top of that one. So that's that petal we just added right there. Let's go on to the next one. Ooh, time is flying. You want the curl side up. You want to bring that top to the middle, the bottom to the middle. You want to walk it up. Take your pinches, grab it, take the 3 fingers, scoop that left petal on top of that right petal. And you may have to adjust it because with this mesh, I don't know why, but that left petal always seems like it's shorter than that right petal. So don't think anything is wrong or you do anything wrong. Just reshape it. It'll be fine. We're going to put on the next zip tie, reload it, which is in between that petal and this petal. So we're going right in between there. That's what we want to go at. So remember, we loaded our zip tie through the canvas and around that number 4 rail. And then we close up the zip tie. Pull it nice and tight. And then we clip off the excess. Then we take the petal to the left and put it over the new petal you just put down. You don't want to mess with the petals too much. So minimize touching the petals, okay? As much as you can. Because the more you touch this, now this has been burnt with a wood burner, which is so much better than the rotary cutter. So you can see the edges on this is so much better. But if you continue to pull at it and mess with it, it will start fraying. So once again, you pull the top to the middle, you pull the bottom to the middle, and you work your fingers up. Make that bow tie. Turn it over, take your pinches, those 2 fingers, and then you take these 3 fingers and you scoop that left petal on top of that right. And for some reason, like I said, that left petal always looks like it's shorter than that right. Don't know why. So you just gotta adjust it. That's all. Once you think you got it where it needs, and like I said, it doesn't have to be exact. You place it down. And remember, you're going in between the 2 petals on rail number 2 that you already put in. And tighten it down. Cut off the excess. And then you take that left petal that you just put down and you put it over top of this petal. And you may have to move it around just a little bit, but be careful because like I said, you don't want to cause it to fray. So you just do it gently. Go to the next petal. Once again, curl side up. You take the top to the middle, the bottom to the middle, walk your fingers up. Take your pinches when you turn it over. Take your pinches, pinch that middle, take the 3 fingers, and then swoop that left petal over that right petal. And like I said, this mesh for some reason always makes it seem like that petal to the left is shorter than the one to the right. So you have to just readjust it, that's all. Once you get it where you want it, you place it down onto your reform and then close up that zip tie that you preloaded. Once again, this is going on rail 4 in between the petals that you put on rail 2. Okay? If you need me to show you that again, let me know. So we need to pick up this petal here that was to the left, put it on top of the petal you just laid down. And that's how that works. I'm going to go on to this one, go on to the next one, curl side up, top to middle, bottom to middle, walk fingers up. Go to turn over, take your pinches, grab that middle, place it down, take the 3 fingers, swoop that left petal on top of that right petal. Adjust it to even it up. Once you think you have it as even as it needs to be, you take it and you place it on your reform. Now, I have to tell you, you have to be careful when you do this in a way because this mesh is very easy to fray, and you have the ends of your Chanel I mean your zip ties that you cut that's a little sharp. So you may want to twist them to the side or something so they don't catch on the mesh. It has done that to me at least once or twice today. That's how I know. Don't want that to happen. Then you take that left petal and you want to put it on top of this petal, you know, let it go across the top of this petal you just put down. You want the left petal to be on top of the right petal. You just want to have a consistent look. That's all. That's all that is. It's a consistent look. If you're watching me on Facebook, please like, share, follow, comment. Please comment when you come on. Let me know you come on. I had a little messed up earlier with my website. Video wouldn't go live. It was saying I was live. I couldn't see that I was live, so I just left my business page and came on over to my regular Facebook page, and I'm going live here. I'm going to bring you something somewhere. I'm going to bring you some sort of training tutorial, some reef making somewhere because that's what I just enjoy doing and that's what I want to do. Like I said, this is me turning my hobby into a business and I want to share it with you guys. Bring the top to the middle, bottom to the middle, walk your hands up, pinches when you turn it around, take the three fingers and swoop that left pedal on top of that right pedal and adjust it where it is as even as you can get it. And you place it down on your reform in between those petals that you put on that number 2 rail and on the number 4 rail. This is where you place it at, on the number 4 rail in between the petals you put on the number 2 rail. And you just take that petal, that last petal, and you place it on top of this one. Just to give it a consistent look. That's all that is. Okay, so once again, let me show you again. We started off putting petals on the number 2 rail. We put the petals in. The petals are a 10-inch mesh cut at 10 inches. We then folded it over, made a petal. We placed it here. We put 3 in each section. And now we went down to rail 4 to put the second row of petals. And what we did was we put the zip tie in between the canvas that we attached at the bottom and pulled the other end over the rail 4, the bottom rail. And that's where we're attaching the next petals. The next row of petals is going to be here on rail 4. In between the petals we put on rail 2. So this one is going to go here. The next one is going to go here. If you need me to show you something again, let me know. I will show it to you again. That's what I'm here for. We will do our pinches. Have our fingers. We swoop that left petal over on that right petal. That's pretty close. You want to go down on the reform in between those petals on rail 2 and secure it down with the zip ties. It is real helpful for you to preload those zip ties. It really is. In the beginning I didn't think so, but as I started doing it I realized that it is really helpful. So now I'm much more mindful about doing it because it really helps out. Curl side up, bring the top to the middle, bring the bottom to the middle, walk up the mesh, up the middle of the mesh, turn it over, get it with your pinchers, take the 3 fingers and swoop that left petal on top of that right petal. You think you got them even or close as you can get it, place it down on your rail, on your work form, on that number 4 rail and zip tie it down. Take the petal next to it. I didn't flip this one. I'll take the petal next to it and put it on top. Take the petal next to this one that you just put down and put that one on top. You may have to mess around with your petals just a little bit. Like I said, you don't want to mess around with it too much because this mesh is really finicky. So you bring the top to the middle, bottom to the middle, walk your fingers up, pinchers, take the 3 fingers, swoop that left petal on top of that right petal, and just adjust it where it looks like it's just about even, and you place it down on your reform on rail number 4. We're going to do one more of the red and white. Okay, and this is the second row of petals. You want to swoop it, bring that left petal on top of that right petal, try to even them out, place it down on your reform, and we need to get some more zip ties. You're going to make sure you put this one in between the petal. And place it down, and you secure it down. And this is on rail 4. Secure it tightly. And put it down. Now you take the petal to the left, and you put it on top of the petal to the right. Make sure you have your petals that way. But you just want them to have a consistent look. Okay, and this is what we have for the second row. This is what we have for the second row. Starting to look real nice and full. Now the reason, I'm just going to explain to you, the reason why I had already went down to the third row over here is because if you look at this mesh, it is real thin, right? You can see through it. So I wanted to see how much coverage it had when I folded it over and made the petal that we're making here, which is a 2-point petal. If it wasn't didn't have enough coverage and you can still see the reform under it, I would have made a 3-point petal. But we don't need to do that because this coverage is great. You cannot see the reform behind it. So I didn't need to make the 3-point. I just need to make the 2-point like we were already going. That's why I already went down to row 3, because I wanted to see about the coverage. And you can do that, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to find out whether you have the mesh is going to cover your wreath form and it's going to look full enough, it's going to look right, then do almost finished in one area so you can see whether you need to adjust something throughout the wreath. It only helps. It can't hurt anything. So now what we have to do here is we need to put the blue in, right? So now we need to put a blue here on rail 4, right? We're going down to rail 4 because that's where we do our second petals at. So we want one here, one here, one here, and then we may do one here. I think so. So we're going to do 4, okay? So we want to preload our zip ties. And how we do that is we take it and we go, I don't know if I can show you this, but you go through the canvas at the bottom, and these zip ties are they're larger, so they're a little hard to get through that number 5 canvas. And then you go right here above this here. You put this here, and you go right above here, and this is where you're going to put your petal, okay? And then you preload the next one. You put it here, which I have to work it through because it's a little big, and then you put it around that number 4 rail. You stick it in, you put it around that number 4 rail right here. I gotta fix that because I put it in wrong. If you put it in wrong, just take it out. Not the end of the world. You can fix it. You can fix it. And depending on how it look, if you think you need another blue petal, put another blue petal in. There's no set science saying you only can do 4 and you only can do 5. Look at your wreath. If it looks like you got an empty spot and you want to put a blue there, put a blue there. It's okay. It's up to you. This is your wreath. You make it the way you want it. You put what you think needs to be there. There's a hole. Fill it. So we're gonna do the same thing with the blue burlap, okay? That we did with the deco mesh. We're gonna bring the top to the middle, bring the bottom to the middle. We're gonna work our hands up the middle. We're gonna use our pinches, pinch it, lay it flat. Take these 3 fingers and we're gonna swoop up that left petal on top of that right petal. Now the burlap acts a lot better than the deco mesh. It does. It listens. It goes where you tell it to go. Because as soon as you pick it up, it looks like it's already even. Not too much adjusting at all. So just you'll see the difference when you use the burlap up against the deco mesh. You place it down and you just close the zip tie on it. That's all. My husband is home, so if you hear walking, that's my husband. He just came in. Let me get another one. Alright, you bring the top to the middle, bring the bottom to the middle, you walk your hands up the middle, take your pinchers, you pinch it, take these 3 fingers and swoop that left on top of that right petal. There you go. You place that down on that number 4 round where you have that preloaded zip tie, and you just zip tie it in. You pull it tight and you cut off the excess. And you take that right petal, or the left petal rather, and you put it on top of that right petal. You also do the same with the red and white. You put the red and white here, you make sure you bring it over top of that blue, because you got to keep consistency. Okay? You want to keep it consistent. I have some little strands, and this mesh is going to fray, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to fray. Ugh, I will not be getting this mesh again. Ugh. Okay, back to the blue. Top to middle, bottom to middle. Walk our hands up, pinch it, 3 fingers, swoop that left over that right. Place it down on your work form, and then zip tie it in. And if something don't look right, look at it. See what you need to do to change it. It's not a problem. You can always cut the zip tie and you rearrange it, move it around, do what you need to do. Nothing is cemented in. You can take your wreath apart and redo it if you need to. Okay, I'm going to put one more here, and we're going to see if we're going to need another one there. Lay it flat again, cup side up, top to middle, bottom to middle, and then we walk our hands up. Make the little bow tie, flip it over with our little pinches. We hold on to it, take these 3 fingers, and we swoop that left petal on top of that right petal. Give it just a little pull so you can see if it's even. Once you know you think you got it even, you place it down onto your work form where you have that preloaded zip tie. And then you zip it down nice and tight. And you take that petal that was to the left and place it over the right. And that's what you have. That's what you have. Now, there you go. And that's what you have. And that's it. So now we're going to work on row 3. Okay? And I'm going to go down to in between. I'm going to work in between my 2 center lines that I made. Okay? Remember, the outer line fits the larger center. The inner line that I made is the smaller center. Okay? So, but we're going to go in between. I'm going to preload a couple of zip ties on this. Okay? I'm just going to preload it because it's just easier when they're already preloaded. And you just space them out accordingly. It's no rhyme, reason. You really want it to go in between. You would really like to place them in between the row that you just did, right? So you got one here and you got one here. You want to kind of place it, see if it fits. Try to lay it where it goes right in between this one. So when you place your zip tie in, see if you can get your zip tie where it looks like when you place the petal in, it'll be in between there. That's kind of your guide. That's what you go by. But if it's not exact, it's not exact. It's okay if it's not exact. So you see this one here. Uh-oh, a few zip ties I have underneath there. This is there. So I'm going to place this one here. And go to the next. That one. And you just want to stay in between those lines. There's no exact. Just stand in between the lines. That's all you're doing. Just stand in between those lines. So we got this here, this there. And we want like I said, it don't have to be exact. As long as you have it in the ballpark, you're good to go. I don't know how many more I gotta cut. Oh, time flies. I was trying to do this video in an hour. Lord have mercy. It just ain't working for me. I'm trying to do a video in an hour. Even with things pre-cut. But hey, when you come on, say hi. Let me know where you're checking in from. If you do any crafts, let me know what kind of crafts you do. If you do flower wreaths, please show me a picture. Send me a picture. I would love to see them. Love to see them. So definitely send them to me. If you're watching me on Facebook, please like, share, follow. Definitely comment. I need you guys to comment. Let me know what's going on. Let me know you out there. So please comment. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe, share, comment as well, and ring that bell. That way you'll know when I go live, next time I go live. Alright, let's do these that I have here. All of a sudden it's hot in this basement. Ooh. Alright, take the top to the middle, bottom to the middle, and we walk the middle up. Take the pinches, we just pedal down, take the 3 fingers, put the left pedal on top of the right pedal. Put them together and you put them into that preloaded zip tie. It gets a little confusing in here when you have a whole bunch of zip ties open because they're all over the place, but you just take your time, find the right one, find the one that goes with the one you want to work with. And then you zip it down. So you want to fell through, so you gotta put that one back up in there. Alright. See, this mesh is fraying a little bit. We'll just cut that little part off. Already fraying a little bit. Like I said, this mesh is gonna fray. won't be buying this again. So top to middle, bottom to middle, walk up the middle, pinchers, lay down flat, try to lay out the mesh a little bit. I think that helps. And then swoop that left petal on top of that right petal. And then put it into your preloaded zip tie. And then remember, we want that left petal to go on top of the petal next to it. So we just go in, pick up this petal, make sure it's on top of that petal, pick up this petal, both petals, make sure it's on top of the one we just put down, and we take that one, make sure it's on top of this one, and it is. So we're going to keep going. Now I know some wreath makers can do flower wreaths in like look like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm trying, but I'm not there yet. As you can see, it's an hour. Alright, we're placing it down into our preloaded zip ties that we put in. And we zip tying it down. Okay. It's just all of a sudden it's hot down here. Gotta put the air on. Pinchers. Swoop that left over that right. There you go. And we put it in the very next zip tie that you have preloaded. And take your time. Make sure you got the right one because you got quite a few in here. And reload it. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, you guys. I had to put the air on because I don't know if you see how shiny my face is, but I'm sweating. Can't be doing that. So I had to put the air on. So hopefully it cools off real quick. Okay, so top to middle, bottom to middle. We walk our hands up, pinchers, lay it flat. And take these 3 fingers, swoop that left petal on top of that right petal. Try to get them about the same size, and you place them down in that preloaded zip tie that you have, which makes it so much easier. Remember, let's preload those zip ties because it makes it so much easier. Take it from me. I've done it without the zip ties being preloaded. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Okay. I want some more red. Y'all, guess what I ate for dinner? I'm just thinking about this. Just crossed my mind. Guess what I ate for dinner? Lord have mercy. I went old school. I got me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's what I had for dinner tonight. I had me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know about you guys, but I love me some peanut butter and jelly. And that's what I had for dinner. It just crossed my mind. I'm like, wow, I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dinner today. No rhyme or reason. I just made it and ate it. That's what I felt like eating. Okay, I don't feel the air kicking on, and this is ridiculous. Pinchers, flip it over, take the 3 fingers, bring that left petal on top of that right petal. Do some resizing if you need to, which with this mesh you do. It's not like the burlap. The burlap, it just does what it's supposed to do. Alright. cut some of these off. You take the top to the middle, bottom to the middle, walk your hands up. Take your pinches, pinch it, lay it back down on the table. Take the 3 fingers, swoop that left petal on top of that right petal. Try to even them out. Once you even them out, you place it down. Your reform. Okay, that's not like that. I gotta fix that. Reform into your preloaded zip ties. I gotta load some more in here. And then pull it tight. Then go back and make sure your left petal is on top of your right petal. So you want this left petal on top of the right petal. So this is on top. So when we loaded this one is not on top of the right. Move it to this petal. That's not on top, so we gotta put it on top of this petal. And we take this next petal, put it on top of, take that left, put it on top of the right. Move over to this petal, take that left petal, put it on top of the right, and just lay them down where they're supposed to be, where they're supposed to lay. Just don't be rough with them, be gentle. Put the left on top of the right. And we need a couple more red zip ties. And once again, these are 6-inch red zip ties. You can use 8. You can also use the 4-inch. I'm using 8-inch because 6-inch in the red because that's what I have. That's the only reason why because this is what I'm going to use what I have. So we want to load this one in. Just in between that petal. Load this one in. First in between that petal. I want to go over one more. Load this one in. Just in between that petal. And then we'll see if we want to add in another one where this blue is. Or do we want to go blue? See, this is what it looks so far. So we're coming up to the blue section. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put 1, 2, 3. We're going to put 3 here, and it should come over here. We don't want to put another red and white until we see what it looks like, because we don't want to put another red and white and then it comes up in this blue, right? So that's not what we want to do. We want to put the red here, stop it, and see where the petals lay. If the petals lay over here, that's what we want. We don't want the petals to lay all over here. We want blue to be here. So we just put the next 3 in, and we see what it looks like. Matter of fact, we gotta cut some more, so let's cut some more. Remember, we want to go in between the lines, so we line this up and we go to the 10-inch because these are cut at 10 inches. And it's not going to look straight, ladies and gentlemen, because when you go in between the lines, they're going to be wavy. It's okay, long as it's 10 inches. We want it as close to 10 inches as we can. So we just go in between this, and it's going to be wavy. It's okay. Just in between that particular line is where we want the cut. So we have 10 inches there. We go down to the 20. We at least need another 3. Go to the 20. And we go in between that line where the 20 lands. It's going to be a little curvy. It's okay. Don't think it's something bad. It's an okay thing. It's fine. You're not going to tell the difference. Trust me. Not. So we roll it back out again. Be careful with this thing. Be careful, because it is extremely hot. And go to the 10. There's 3. Let's go ahead and make another one. We don't need more anyway, so while we have this being cut, gotta cut some more blue. So hey, when you come in, let me know. Let me know where you coming in from, who you are, where you coming in from, if you do crafts, what kind of crafts you do. Is this something you wanted to see? Do you want to see me do more of these? Let me know. I need you guys to comment. Let me know what you want to see so I can put that content on for you. So I definitely want to do videos that you guys want to see. I don't want to just do anything. I want to do what you guys want to see. So if you watch me on Facebook, please like, share, follow, comment. Definitely comment. I won't know what you want to see if you don't comment. I won't know who you are if you don't tell me who you are. So, and if you're watching me on Facebook, please subscribe, share, comment, and also ring that bell. That way you know when I'm going live. So here we are. We have our 10-inch mesh cut in 10 inches. Roll side up. Take the top to the middle. Take the bottom to the middle. And we want to walk our hands up. Take our pinchers, pinch, take the 3 fingers, swoop that left pedal over top of that right pedal. Try to get it as even as possible, and then we're going to lay it in that zip tie, preloaded zip tie that we put in already. And then we just fasten it down. We just fasten it down. Go to the next one. This ear didn't pop on. Did not come on. I'm not happy right now, ladies and gentlemen. My air didn't pop on. I don't know what I did wrong, but it didn't pop on. So we did the little pinchers, and now we swoop in that left pedal on top of that right pedal. Put it down in our preloaded zip ties. Remember to preload your zip ties. Okay, we're on that third one. Bring it down to the middle. Bring the bottom up to the middle. Walk it up that middle. Take your pinchers. Place it back down. Take the 3 fingers. Swoop that left pedal over on top of that right pedal. Place it down into your zip tie. Cut off the excess. Okay, let's make sure the left pedal is on top of the right pedal. Go in here. Okay, so we started here. So we have to take that pedal, put it on the top of that one. And go here. I'm going to take that left pedal, put it on top of that one. And we have to fold up here and take that pedal and put it on top of that one. This is where our pedals are. Okay, so let's see. Do we need to put another red pedal? I think we may need another red pedal right here on this number 3. You see that open spot right there? I think we need a red one right there. We're going to put the blue in, and then I'm going to see if we need to put a red pedal right there, or when we place a blue, that blue fits right there. But I'm going to preload some zip ties first. Let's preload some zip ties. What do you guys think so far? You think it's turning out okay? I think it's turning out great. So we want, now, do we think we need another red there? No. So we're going to go here. And like I said, these preloaded zip ties really help you out. They really help you out. So you just put them down in there. And you putting them in between those 2 lines. Remember, that's where they go. In between the 2 lines that you made. That gives you a guide. It helps you out. So you just use that guide. It's there. Why not use it? It's there. Why not use it? Makes your life a little easier. Do it. Okay. Alright, so we need at least 4 blue. We only have one that's cut. So let's go ahead and cut 3 more of these. I know it's over an hour, ladies and gentlemen. I really do try my best to have my videos an hour. I'm just gonna have to do more of the wreath. I just don't want to take the content away from you guys. I want you guys to see all the steps. So it's kind of hard for me to pick out exactly what I need to cut out and do so I can keep my videos to an hour. We want to go to the 10-inch marker. Remember, we want to go in between the lines. So we go in between the lines, and is not a straight line. It's not. And somehow this rolled down. See, when it's not hot enough, see how it doesn't cut good? It's not cutting. It's not cutting good when it's not hot. That's what happens. It's not cutting good. So you have to make sure that it's up. It don't have to be up high all the way up, but it has to be on like that third level. So when it cuts, it just cuts straight through like butter. That's why you got to be extremely careful when you're using it. Like right now it's smoking, so I know it's done got hot again. And it don't take long for it to get hot. Not at all. It's still working. It's still trying to get there. It's 1, 2, we need 4, right? Like I said, when you use this, it's always good to have a mask on because it is smoking. It is letting off fumes and you don't want to breathe that in. I'm just doing this quick for you guys, so I'm not really worrying about it. But if I had a lot of these to do, I would definitely put a mask on. And earlier when I was cutting it, I did have the fan on, so it was good circulation. I just can't do the fan with the video going right now. So that's 4. All right, we'll see what happens with 4. Put that back safely. So we want to do the curl side up. We want the top to the middle. We want the bottom to the middle. We want to walk our hands up the middle. We want to take our pinches and pinch it. We want to place it back down on our mat. We want to take our 3 fingers, these 3 fingers, and we want to swoop that left pedal on top of that right pedal. Put it together and place it down in your wreath where you have that preloaded zip tie. That's where you want it to go. Move on to the next one. Curl side up. Bring the top to the middle. Bring the bottom to the middle. Walk our hands up. Pinchers. Grab it. Lay it down flat. Take your 3 fingers. Swoop over that left pedal onto that right pedal. Make sure it's about the same height. It's even. And place it in the preloaded zip tie. I'm telling you, that preloaded zip tie really helps you out. To another blue. Pinch. To the middle. To the middle. Pinch. Lay flat. Take the 3 fingers. Swoop that left pedal on top of that right pedal. Adjust it if it needs to be adjusted. Pinch it together and load it into where your zip tie is. And then pull your zip tie closed. Do one more. The top to the middle, bottom to the middle. Walk your hands up the middle. Pinch it, lay it flat. Take your 3 fingers, swoop that left pedal on top of that right pedal. Put it together and put it down into your wreath. That preloaded zip tie, and then pull it closed. If you're just joining us, we are doing a patriotic flower. And we have the red and white check mesh, and we also have the blue burlap. And that's what we're using today. We've cut our mesh into 10 inches. The red and white mesh is cut into 10 inches, and the blue is cut into 10 inches. And we're doing petals, and we're going around placing it in. Now, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Uh-oh. That's what I say about this mesh. It gets caught on everything. But there you go. There you go. Look at that. That looks great. We gotta definitely put this mesh where we want it, which is right there. I'm gonna take this mesh and we're gonna put it where we want it. But I just want to show you now. At this point, remember that outline circle was to fit my big center. Now check this out. We can be finished right here. This is the center. This would be the finished product of this wreath right here. This would be it. This would be the finished flower right here, because that fits completely and covers that center, right? That fits it. Now we can try the smaller one. See how that doesn't fit? See how you can see the zip ties at the bottom? So if we want to use the smaller one, we have to do another row. So what do you think? Do we use a smaller one, or do we stick with the big one? Tell you the truth, I'm kind of torn, because I like the big one too, and I like the small one as well. I think we may do another row. I think we're going to do another row. All right, let's get some zip ties. We preload them. We need to cut some more mesh. Cut some more mesh. I hate the fact that my video goes so long, but I want to make sure I get you guys the content that you need to make these wreaths. Especially if you're thinking about turning your hobby and this hobby into a business. I want to make sure you get all the information that you need to do that. So yeah, we go longer than an hour every time I go on. But I enjoy it. I love it. And I hope you guys do too. Okay, why I keep getting snapped on this? I have to move that. Okay. So we're going to preload our zip ties, and we want to put our zip ties where come in about 2 or 3 blocks in. So like a half an inch, right? And then we're going to put our zip ties where the petals will kind of go in between, but it doesn't have to be exact. Okay? So it doesn't have to be exact, ladies and gentlemen. So don't think it has to. It doesn't. So we're just going to preload a couple of zip ties. We're going to put it in here. We want to see how it looks, and we're going to go from there. We don't know how many is going to fit in here, so we're just going to preload them in, and we're just going to see what works. That's what happens when you're making a wreath. You just see what works sometimes. Just putting some zip ties in, putting some zip ties around, getting them preloaded. So when I cut my mesh and I put my mesh in here, the zip ties are already in here, and it's easier to put in when you already have your zip ties in here already. It really is. It makes a huge difference. Also, everyone, don't forget, in my last video, I let you know that I will be at a vendor show June 18th at Harmony on the Lakes in Canton, Georgia, at the clubhouse. So Harmony on the Lakes Clubhouse in Canton, Georgia on June 18th. So if you want to come and see my wreaths up close and personal, you want to touch, feel, and see them, hold them, you can do that, because that's where they will be on display. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got 6 petals in here. So 1, 2, so we got to cut some more red and white, and we also got to cut some more blue. So remember, going between the lines. Be careful with this wood burner. Because you don't want to burn yourself. This is a lot worse than hot glue. And I'm not going to have enough. That's no good. No bueno. So, we may have to continue this tomorrow. So let's at least put it together. And I can always show you the finished product tomorrow. It's 4. This is 10. Which will be here. And then we want the blue. We want at least, let's go 4 for the blue. We may not need 4. We may only need 3. Once again, going between the lines when you're cutting, okay? Take your time and go in between the lines. So you find that 10-inch mark on your cutting board, on your mat rather. Make sure you always have that glass on top of your mat, because you can't use this wood burner on your mat. So you gotta have a glass. That's 10 there. Two, 3. See, it cuts so good when it's hot enough. And this is 4. 4. So if you're just checking in, we're doing a patriotic flower wreath. We have blue burlap material, and we had the white and red check material, and we cut them at 10 inches. Both of them are cut at 10 inches. We use the 12-inch wreath form. We have a canvas, which is in the middle, right here, that we attach to the wreath form, just like this. You can see on the back with zip ties. And we attach the first row of petals to the number 2 rail, and the second row of petals to the number 4 rail through the canvas. Then we went down on the canvas, and I had made 2 lines, one to fit my large center and one to fit my small center, which is these 2 right here. And I think I'm gonna go with the small center, so we're just going in that last row of petals to fit my small center. And how we make the petals is we take the curl side up of our 10-inch mesh, we bring the top to the middle, we bring the bottom to the middle, and we walk the material up. We pinch here, and then we take the 3 fingers that we have here, and we just push that left petal on top of that right petal. And you try to even it up as much as possible, and you place it down on those preloaded zip ties that you put in here. And we put that left petal on top of the petal you just put down. And I'm going a little fast because we are so over on time. So we put that top to the middle, bottom to the middle, pinch, swoop that left petal on top of the right petal. Try to get it as even as possible. Pinch together and place into that open, preloaded zip tie. Okay. Top to the middle, bottom to the middle, walk up the middle, pinch, swing that left petal on top of that right petal, try to even it up, place it down into the preloaded zip tie. top to the middle, bottom to the middle, walk it up. Pinch, swoop that left petal on top of that right petal, place it down. Okay, just got the wrong zip tie, which is fine. It happens. No biggie. We just put another one in. Let that go. That one out. Place another one in. Put the zip tie wrong, so I gotta turn the zip tie around. So I'm still folded, so that works. Alright. Okay, so we want the left petal on top of the right petal, so we pick up that left petal, we put it on top of the right petal, go on, pick that left petal, put it on top of the right petal, do the same thing with this one. The left petal on top of that right petal. Now we want to look and get the blue. And I think we cut some, so we're going to put some blue in. Don't have any more red and white, so we're going to work with what we have. We're going to preload some zip ties that we have here. We got 3 of them. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what you think. What you think? Do you think it's coming out okay? I think it is. Look at that. It's coming out great. Look at that. I'll put a blue here. Zip tie. We're going to see what that center look like. So if you can get that number 5 canvas, the holes are much bigger and it's easier for you to put these zip ties in. These large zip ties, it's kind of hard to put in. It's a little tight, a little tight. Alright, but we're going to go with 2 for right here. We're gonna see what happens with 2. Okay. And we're going to top to the center, bottom to the center, walk it up, pinch it, lay it flat. Take these 3 fingers, swoop this left petal on top of the right petal. Even it out. Place it down in your preloaded zip tie. Put the top to the middle, bottom to the middle, walk it up. Pinch. Take the 3 fingers, swoop this petal over on top of this, the left petal on top of the right, pinch it in the middle, place it down into your preloaded zip tie. I think we need to add just one more blue. Top to the middle, bottom to the middle, walk it up. Pinch. Take the 3 fingers, swoop that left petal on top of that right petal. Pinch it together and place it down in there. Now at this point it's really tight in here, so you gotta force it down in there a little bit. You should get enough of it down in there that the zip tie can hold on to, and then you make it tight. So then we want the left pedal on top of the right pedal, remember? So we pull up that left pedal, pull up the left pedal, make sure the right pedal is underneath the left pedal. And then we just place these pedals where we want them. And there you go. That came out great. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's great. That's great. I'm going to have it this way, on that side. There you go. Now, look at that center. Perfect. Now how we do the center, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to do the center really, really quick. We take these pins here that I showed you earlier. These U-shaped pins. U-shaped pins. So we make sure we take these U-shaped pins that I'm showing you, right? These U-shaped pins. And we just going to place this 22-inch gauge wire, right? See where the middle part is. You put the two ends together. You know where your middle is. Place that on this. And then you just push it down into the foam with these things here. Just push it down. Then you take your glue gun, which I didn't have plugged in, and you glue it really good, right? I'm sorry, my glue gun fell. Let me get my glue gun. It fell on me. So you got your glue gun, right? Let me turn off my wood burner. I don't want to burn anything. And you glue it. You put a lot of glue where those two places are. And then you take your wire and you stick it down in here. So we're going to place the wire. I'm going to come back and glue that, but I want to let you guys go. So you go in the middle, as much in the middle as you can go. You go in the middle, stick the wire down. You find a spot you can stick the wire down, and on this side, you stick the wire down on this side. Try to make it as even as possible. And then you pull this down. And then what you do is on the back, you twist this. Twist it really, really tight. Then you cut off the excess and you stick the excess back down into the mesh so you don't have nothing sticking up that may stick and hurt your customer. Then you take a piece of felt. Now you don't have to do this part. I do. I like to cover the back of my wreath. So I actually make a hook with my Chanel stem and I cover the back with felt because I don't like my customers seeing all of this. Some designers don't do that, some wreath make, but I do. I like to cover the back, so that's an option for you. But make sure when you cut these that you stick them back down in this canvas, back through your mesh, because if you don't, when somebody touch it, they're going to poke themselves, they're going to hurt themselves, so you want to make sure you do that. So this will be what your finished wreath look like. Let me know in the comments. Send me some hearts if you like this. I think it came out great. I love it. I love all the colors here in the center, and then the red and white, and then this pop of blue right here with this flower. I think it came out great. Great, great, great. Just know this mesh came from Michaels and it phrased. But other than that, I think it looks good. I am so glad you guys took the time out to join me tonight and watch my video on making this patriotic flower wreath. If you on Facebook, please like, share, follow, and definitely comment. Let me know when you come in, when you look at the video. Even if you're watching a replay, please comment because I will answer your comments. If you ask me a question, you need me to redo another wreath like this so you can see something more close up, let me know. I'll definitely put that on for you. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe, share, ring that bell, and comment. When you ring the bell, it lets you know when I come on, when I'm doing lives. When you comment, I will answer those comments as well, whether you're watching a replay now or later on. It is fine. I am Katrina from Kathleen Creations Wreaths again, Recent Things. And until next time, be safe. Good night. Bye.